Most men miss the moment a woman says yes, without ever speaking a single word. She could be standing right next to you, practically screaming interest, and yet you'll walk away thinking she's just being polite. Why? Because when it comes to attraction, women don't communicate like men. They speak in codes, subtle cues, micro signals. And if you're not fluent in that language, you lose the game before you even knew it started. Here's the uncomfortable truth. We've been taught to look for bold, direct, in-your-face signs of interest. A smile? Maybe. A compliment? Better. Her asking for your number. Jackpot. But the real world doesn't work like that, especially not with women who are emotionally intelligent, self-aware, and selective. These women, the ones men really want, play a much more complex game. And unless you learn to decode it, you'll always feel like she's not that into you, even when she secretly is. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain on how women actually communicate interest, not the obvious stuff you already know. We're talking about the hidden signs, the subconscious behaviors, the nonverbal whispers that fly under the radar of 99% of guys. But once you learn to spot them, everything changes. You'll finally understand why that girl laughed at your joke a second too long, why she played with her necklace when you spoke, why she just happened to bump into you again and again. We'll dig deep into the psychology behind it. We'll expose the evolutionary instincts at play, and we'll equip you with the tools to see what most men never see. This isn't just about attraction, it's about awareness. It's about stepping into the mind of a woman and realizing that interest isn't always expressed with a shout. Sometimes, it's a whisper you have to learn how to hear. If you've ever walked away wondering, did she like me, or am I imagining things? Then stay right here, because after this, you won't have to guess anymore. Let's start with something you weren't taught in school, or anywhere really. Women are biologically wired to signal interest indirectly. It's not random. It's evolutionary. For thousands of years, women's survival, both physical and social, depended on discretion. While men were encouraged to pursue, initiate, dominate, women evolved to filter, test, and signal without overexposing themselves to rejection or danger. This was survival instinct turned social behavior, and it still runs the show today. The psychology behind her hidden signals. Enter subcommunication. In psychology, subcommunication is the art of conveying a message without actually saying it. It's body language, vocal tone, eye movement, micro-expressions, the stuff that slips past conscious control. And women, believe it or not, are masters at this. Why? Because from a very young age, they're conditioned to navigate a social world that punishes them for being too forward, too easy, or too much. So instead of saying, "I'm into you," they'll let their eyes linger just a second longer. They'll face their body toward you in a group. Or they'll make a joke with just enough flirtation to make you wonder. Men, on the other hand, are taught to be direct. See target, move toward target. It's action over nuance, logic over subtlety. So when a woman expresses interest in a way that's emotional, fluid, or nonverbal, most guys are completely blind to it. Research backs this up. A fascinating study by Monica Moore, a social psychologist at Webster University, found that women use up to 52 different nonverbal signals to show interest, many of them completely unconscious. Things like playing with her hair or jewelry, exposing her neck or wrists, signs of vulnerability, laughing more freely, even at unfunny jokes, making eye contact, then looking away, then looking back again. Here's the kicker. The study also found that men consistently misinterpreted or ignored these signals, assuming either disinterest or just not noticing at all. Why it matters. When you miss these cues, two things happen. You fail to act, thinking there's no interest. She walks away thinking you're not interested, and that's game over. You misread friendliness as attraction, which leads to awkward situations, disappointment, or even rejection that could have been avoided. Knowing the difference is everything. This isn't about reading minds. It's about training your perception, seeing what most people don't, and responding with emotional intelligence, not just bravado. Because when you learn to read her signals properly, you're not just becoming more attractive, you're becoming dangerously aware, the kind of man who understands people on a deeper level. And that is power. Let me know when you're ready for core explanation. Part 1, where we'll break down the most common hidden signs of female interest. and how to recognize them before anyone else does. How women signal interest without saying a word. All right, let's get into the real world stuff. Because now that you understand the why, it's time to break down the how. This is where most guys fail. They look for the obvious signs. She touched me. She asked for my number. She told me she likes me. But by the time a woman says it out loud, she's likely already given you 10 green lights you missed. Let's fix that. The eye game. More than just looking. We're not talking about a casual glance here. We're talking about intentional eye contact, and just as importantly, the way she looks away. Here's a breakdown. If she looks at you then looks away and smiles, she's not just being polite. That's a soft invitation. If she holds eye contact for longer than 2-3 seconds in a non-work setting, ding ding ding. And if you catch her looking at you again after she looked away, that's a huge sign. That's not random. That's interest cloaked in subtlety. Women often initiate what's called indirect pursuit. They don't chase, they signal for you to chase. Eye contact is usually the first bait. Proximity and positioning. She doesn't have to be in your face to be interested, but she will find a way to be near you. Here's what that looks like. She stands closer to you than she does with others in a group setting. She just happens to sit near you, even when there are other options. She positions her body toward you, even when she's talking to someone else. This isn't magic. It's strategy. Humans gravitate toward what they're attracted to. If she keeps appearing in your orbit, pay attention. Micro touches. The accidental contact touch is risky, especially for women. So when it happens, it's almost never accidental. Watch for these. A light touch on the arm while laughing. Brushing past you more than once, even in open spaces. Fixing your clothing, your hair, your collar. Classic move. What matters is how casual it seems. The more relaxed and by the way it looks, the more intentional it probably is. Think about it. Women are acutely aware of physical boundaries. If she breaks them, even subtly, it means something. The tease, playful challenges, and banter. This one's big, and men often dismiss it as she's just being friendly. But teasing, when mixed with warmth, is often a strong indicator of interest. It's part flirtation, part test. Examples. Oh, please, you wish you were that cool. You're trouble, aren't you? I bet you say that to all the girls. She's not trying to insult you. She's watching how you respond. If you get defensive, she backs off. If you laugh and match her energy, now you're playing the game right. Self-touching, a deep subconscious signal. This one slips under most men's radar. When a woman is attracted to someone, she often becomes more aware of her own body, and you'll see it in small gestures. Playing with her hair, touching her lips, rubbing her neck, smoothing her clothing, or adjusting jewelry. These are classic signs of preening, subconscious grooming in the presence of someone she's attracted to. It's like her body is saying, notice me, without her having to say a thing. Calm. Laughter. That's just a little too generous. Is she laughing a little too hard at your mildly funny story? Is she smiling even when you're not joking? That's not a coincidence. Laughter is social glue. When she's into you, she wants to create a sense of connection. And that includes encouraging you, boosting your ego, and making you feel funny. Even if you're not Dave Chappelle, if she's lighting up around you more than others, that's a clue. Final note for part 1. Here's the truth. None of these signs on their own are 100% confirmation. But clusters of them, repeated patterns, that's where the real message is. In part 2, we'll dig deeper into counterintuitive signals, including when women show interest by acting disinterested, and why most men fall for the trap. Let me know when you're ready to continue with core explanation. Part 2. Attraction in disguise. When cold doesn't mean not interested. So far we've looked at the inviting signals. Laughter, eye contact, subtle touch. But now let's talk about the confusing ones. The signs that seem like disinterest, but are often masks for something else. Because here's the mind-bending truth. Some of the strongest signals of attraction are hidden behind resistance. The cool girl defense. Ever met a woman who acts like she couldn't care less about you, only to later find out she was obsessed with you? Welcome to the world of strategic disinterest. Women, especially those with high standards, test. They won't give you full validation up front. They don't want to appear easy or overly eager. So instead of flirting, they'll tease you. Instead of asking questions, they'll give short answers. It's not because they don't care, it's because they do, and they're watching how you handle yourself. Can you stay confident in the face of ambiguity? Do you crumble when she pulls back, or do you stay grounded? That's the real test. Mixed signals aren't always a red flag. Let's clear something up. Inconsistency isn't always manipulation. Sometimes, it's a woman battling her own feelings. Maybe she likes you, but doesn't trust her own judgment. Maybe she's been hurt before, and her guard is up. Or maybe, just maybe, she's trying to figure out if you're worth it. So when a woman goes hot and cold, don't immediately label it as a game. Pay attention to the overall pattern. Is she showing up? Is she staying in your orbit? Is there tension under the surface? Mixed signals are often a sign of inner conflict, not a lack of attraction. Jealousy plays. When she mentions that other guy, here's a curveball most men miss. If a woman brings up another man, not in a braggy, detached way, but in a curious, watching your reaction kind of way, it could be a temperature check. She might say something like, "Oh, my friend Jason texted me again last night. He's so annoying." She's not just talking, she's watching. She wants to see, do you care? Do you flinch? Do you stay cool? This isn't always manipulative, it's instinctual. She wants to know where you stand and how you handle pressure. Subtle social comparison. You're in a group, she compliments another guy, then glances at you, or she laughs a little harder at someone else's joke, but only when you're watching. This isn't about the other guy, it's about you. Women often use comparison as a soft pressure tactic. Will you step up? Do you even notice what's happening? It's not a challenge to your manhood. It's a signal that she wants to be noticed by you. Delay tactics that mean, yes, just, later. Some women slow things down when they do like you. They might delay texting back, take longer to agree to hang out, act a little colder in the beginning. Why? Because attraction is vulnerable, and the more they feel, the more they try to protect themselves. This is especially true for women who've had negative experiences with guys who seemed great at first, then turned out to be emotionally immature or manipulative. So instead of jumping in, they'll pause, not because they're unsure about you, but because they're unsure about being hurt again. I'm not looking for anything right now, but keeps talking to you. When she says this, and then keeps replying to your messages, liking your stories, asking about your day, she's not rejecting you. She's setting a frame. She wants to maintain control, to see how you react to pressure. This is where most guys blow it, by backing off completely or over-pursuing. The move here, stay playful, stay grounded, stay interesting. Don't push, but don't disappear. Summary of Part 2. Women don't always show interest by being warm. Sometimes they show it by resisting, testing, or even challenging you. And if you don't understand this language, you'll misread potential as rejection. But if you learn to read between the lines, to see the signals inside the no or the not yet, you'll stop losing connection with women who are actually into you. When you're ready, we'll move into practical application, where I'll give you real tools, conversation tactics, and mindset shifts to start using this knowledge immediately. How to spot her signals and respond like a man who gets it all right. Now we shift from theory to practice, because all this knowledge is useless if you don't know how to act on it. Reading the signs is just step 1. Step 2 is responding in a way that deepens attraction, not kills it with awkwardness, insecurity, or overanalysis. Let's break down what to do when you notice these signals, and more importantly, how to carry yourself before they even show up. Master the art of warm presence. Want women to show you more signals? Start by becoming approachable, but anchored. That means you're relaxed in your body, shoulders loose, deep breathing, steady posture. Your eye contact isn't intense or needy. It's observational, curious, slightly amused. You're aware of your environment, not just stuck in your own head. Women don't signal guys who look checked out or tense. They want to feel like you're already tuned in, so they feel safe sending out subtle invitations. How to respond to eye contact. Let's say she looks at you, looks away, then looks again. What do most men do? Overthink it, freeze, wait too long. Boom, opportunity gone. What should you do? Hold the eye contact for a beat longer than feels natural, and throw in a subtle smirk. That smirk is key. It says, I saw you and I like what I see. Then go back to what you're doing. If the eye game continues, go say hi. You've been invited. If she touches you lightly or gets closer, don't jump or stiffen up. Instead, slow down. Look at her. Acknowledge it. You can say something light like, "Careful, that's dangerous. You're in the personal space zone now," with a grin. Or, "I saw that sneaky little touch, smooth move." This creates a feedback loop. She feels noticed but not put on blast. And most importantly, you showed you're socially aware and confident enough to play how to handle mixed signals without looking weak. She pulls back. She gives a short reply. She doesn't text first. Don't spiral. Here's what to do. Zoom out. Look at the bigger picture. Is she still replying? Still watching your stories? Still laughing in person? Then stay centered. Match energy, not emotion. Energy. If she's cold, you don't get cold. You stay light. You match her energy. Less texting, more space. But not her emotional tension. Re-engage with curiosity. Ask a light question that reopens playful energy. Example. You disappeared. What happened? Abducted by aliens or just addicted to cat memes again? If she wants to stay in the game, she'll respond. When you're not sure, take the small risk. Sometimes, you're not 100% sure if she's into you. But here's the secret. You don't need to be. Confidence isn't about certainty. It's about action in uncertainty. So if you're 70% sure she's giving signals, lean in. Start a conversation. Make a witty comment. Ask her to grab coffee. If you're wrong, cool, you move on. If you're right, you just unlocked a connection most guys never get to experience because they waited for neon signs. Bonus, the quiet escalation. Trick. Want to build subtle tension? Lower your voice just a bit. Lean in slightly when she talks. Pause just a little longer before responding. This creates emotional gravity. She feels pulled into your frame, without you ever needing a cheesy line. Let me know when you're ready for the conclusion, where we'll wrap this up with a bold summary, a powerful challenge, and a call to action that leaves your viewers thinking long after the video ends. The truth. Most men never see most guys walk through life completely blind to what's happening right in front of them. They don't notice the glance that lingers a second too long. They don't catch the playful insult that's really an invitation. They miss the "I'm not looking for anything" that means "I'm scared to want you too much." And because they miss these signs, they miss her. They miss the woman who wanted to be chosen, but didn't want to say it out loud. The one who opened the door quietly and waited for him to walk through it. That's the painful part. Not rejection, regret. But now, you've seen the hidden language. You've learned how attraction really shows up. Messy, complex, silent, electric. You understand that when a woman is interested, it's not always with fireworks and fanfare. Sometimes it's a pause, a glance, a challenge, a flicker of doubt wrapped around a spark of desire. And the men who win in this game? They're not the loudest. They're the ones who can feel the moment and move. So here's the challenge. This week, pay attention. When you're at a party, the gym, the store, tune in. Watch how women move around you. Listen to their tone. Sense the rhythm beneath their words. Start small. Say something. Smile. Respond with bold playfulness instead of fear. Because the difference between the man who gets the girl and the man who walks away confused isn't luck. It's awareness. If this opened your eyes, hit that like button. It tells the algorithm to show this to more guys who need to hear it. Drop a comment. What's a subtle signal you've picked up that other guys might miss? Let's start a conversation down there. And if you're serious about leveling up in attraction, relationships, and the deeper psychology of connection, make sure you subscribe. This channel is just getting started. We're not here for surface-level dating tips. We're here to decode the truth no one else talks about. Welcome to the real game. And now, you're playing it with your eyes wide open.